Hey, welcome to first ever edition of Roman's podcast. I'm Dinesh Saki. Just really excited about the upcoming Border Gavaskar Trophy, obviously in India tour in Australia for 5 tests with a lot at stake. With obviously WTC, where Australia and India are kind of leading in the top two. I think this series is going to be critical, both from India and Australia standpoint. Primarily, don't forget what happened with the recently concluded series in India, where unfortunately, being an Indian fan, it's not nice to see us kind of losing a series at home. But credit to obviously Black Caps and the way they play the game and how they managed to outplay India in their own conditions. I think it's pretty impressive and credit to the Black Caps. Kind of looking into the future, I'm just kind of curious to share some thoughts in terms of how personally I believe the upcoming series is going to unfold down under in Australia. As we know, the first test, is due to start probably in a couple of days' time on Friday the 22nd in Perth. Unfortunately, we are a little light on the squad at the moment, with a couple of key players been injured, and obviously, the skipper Rohit. Congratulations to him and his family, obviously with the new addition. But that does put us in a spot in terms of us kind of now having to have a new opener alongside Yashasvi Jaiswal for the upcoming first test. Before we get into the details of my playing 11, I just want to throw it out my prediction for the series. Looking at the history in terms of what happened over the last decade or so between India and Australia, us coming out on top on multiple occasions. I still believe India has the edge in this upcoming series to still come out on top. In terms of my prediction, I'm kind of leaning towards India winning the series 4-1. I know that's very aggressive in terms of having a result for every test, but look at like the recent games, be it like the way England plays the Test cricket versus India. It's all about attack, and they tend to finish games or finish games off in less than 4 days. I'm expecting a result for every game across this 5 match series. Coming back to playing 11, I'm gonna have my pick for India first. Obviously, with Rohit being out, KL Rahul, I believe, who obviously opened for us in the past, would slot in as a right hand opener alongside Jaiswal. He's been in exceptional form for India across formats, and has done exceptionally well for India in recent past in terms of scoring a ton of runs at the top of the order. So that'd be my top two pick. Number three, I'm seeing a lot of conversations, suggestions across potentially David Padikkal, who's kind of been retained on back of the India A tour, might slot in at number three, which I think is a good pick. But personally, for me, I'm kind of thinking outside the box and have someone like maybe a Washington Sundar batting number three. It's just one test. Obviously, when Gill's back in fit, he's going to take the spot anyway. But yeah, for just test, there's no harm in trying someone like Washington Sundar at number three, who can bat at the top of the order and also offer you some bowling as well in terms of his off spin. So that's what I'm leaning towards. So number three will be Washington Sundar. Number four, obviously, no questions there. King Kohli game being played in Australia, big occasions. There's no better player to have in your squad rather than King Kohli. He strives on these occasions. He's done exceptionally well for us, in Australian conditions, and given what's gone on with him in the recent past, I think he definitely has, uh, a say, and he will definitely have a say in this upcoming series. So I definitely back Kohli to score some big hundreds in this upcoming series. But he'll be my number 4. 5, Punt. Again, we know what he's done in the recent past. Credit to him in terms of what happened with this personal situation, and for him to kind of come back on top of it. 2 years he was away from the game, bounced back massively, had a good IPL, followed by an excellent T20 World Cup, and kind of being on the winning side. Uh, it's like a script, and credit to Punt. Yeah, and personally, the reason I will have him, irrespective of what happened with his personal life, is the guy's an X factor. Yeah, he can win you games single-handedly on his day, and we definitely need players like him in the squad, especially in conditions like Australia, where the ball's going to bounce a lot, and we need someone who doesn't just stick to the national uh, game, but obviously things outside the box. There were sweeps. Yeah, you name it. There were slog sweeps. He'll probably just come down the track and attack someone Cummins or Hazelwood. So he's unbelievable. The way he approaches his game. So I definitely have him in my squad for number 5. Number 6 is interesting. I have a couple of options. Obviously, Sarfraz, who's done exceptionally well for India recently, especially in the recently concluded home series where he scored a ton of runs. But then, bouncy pitches, Australian conditions, I don't personally know how much of a value Sarfraz can add here. He might have the game to back it up, but haven't personally seen him doing a lot in conditions like Australia. So I'm kind of leaning towards Jural. And my pick for Jural is primarily in his temperament, how well he reads the game, and he's someone who can get it out at one end, score huge runs, and also kind of play the long innings if need be. And he's a good backup keeper for Pant as well, and absolutely someone who can kind of stay in the outfield as well. So I'll definitely kind of lean towards a Jural at number 6. Number 7, your all-rounder. Obviously, we have Jadeja in the squad. Depending on what happens with Washington in the squad, if we, as my pick, plays up the order, or he could be another option. And then obviously we also have Ash. Ash is someone I do consider him as a bowling all rounder. As we know, he can bat up the order, he can score some runs, he can absolutely hold one end. So between the 3, my wish, depending on if Particle plays at number 3, then I'd potentially go with Washington at 7. But if thinking outside the box for my current squad, if Washington is batting at number 3, then absolutely I would love to have a left arm spinner, and Jedi kind of takes at a number 7 spot. 8, another all rounder. It is Reddy, young, 21 years of age. What is done for a SRH, and someone who can actually bowl quick. The high 120s, 130s, and then someone who is exceptionally good with the bat. So that gives us another batsman at number 8, which I think is exceptional to have 8 recognized batsmen in your squad. So I'll definitely sort of go with the Nitish Reddy at number 8. Then your Seamers, obviously the good currently in world cricket, Mr. Bumrah, who will be our skipper for this game. So Bumrah will slot it at number 9. He'll have a massive series, I believe, and he is going to be the difference from India standpoint in this series. So I'm really kind of looking forward to Bumrah against the Australian top to middle order. Then Siraj is my number 10. Again, he hasn't had a standout home series, but then experience. He's done exceptionally well for India in overseas conditions like Australia, South Africa in the past, and a little bit on England. And he had a very good series the last time down under in Australia. So some really fond memories for him there. So I'm really kind of counting on him to really come out on top in this series. So Siraj will be my number 10. And number 11, again, a couple of options. We have, Hashit Rana, 6 foot. He can bowl quick pace, the high 140s. And then we also have Prasid Krishna. Might not bowl at the same pace, but definitely someone who can get a lot of punches on this pitches. So those are my two options for number 11. But if I'm having to pick one, I'll potentially go with Rana. So that's my 11 for India for the first test. Again, obviously, things would change going forward depending on Rohit and Gill's availability. Quickly, want to spend a couple of minutes for the Australia playing 11 in the first test. Obviously, as we all know, finally, Davey Warner decided to kind of move on. So Kawaja would potentially require a new opener. So Kawaja starting, as an opener with all the experience, and we know what he's done for Australia. He can score runs and he can, bat for days. So he'll definitely be my number one pick for the, with the first test, or maybe potentially for the rest of the series. Alongside, I was leaning towards heads, Travis Head, purple patch. I don't think there's anyone out there who is actually scoring in all three formats as much as he does, and especially for India, he's been an nemesis. Like he can't put a foot wrong at the moment. Be it IPL, be it international cricket. So I would lean towards Travis Head as my second opener, but then also at the same time there are conversations around giving younger Nathan McSweeney a chance top of the order. So Sweeney can slot in as well. So if Sweeney gets the call ahead of Travis Head as an opener, then I would probably bat Travis Head in the middle order. But yeah, so as things stand for me, Travis Head, McSweeney, Travis Head, and Khawaja to open. Number 3, Labuschagne. We know, Manas has done exceptionally well again for Australia over the course, and he's like someone, he can score tons of runs, hold one end, grid it out, and play the long innings. So Labuschagne is going to be my number 3. Number 4 is Steve Smith. Again, he is like the Kohli for Australia. He likes the big occasion. He likes to play, the big game, and when it really matters, I think he's someone who absolutely delivers. My money is on him to obviously really come out on top and definitely score some runs for Australia. Not as much as I would like, obviously, if he really plays the way he does, then it'll be a tough competition absolutely for Indian bowlers. But I think we do have a way around him this time. But I'd really kind of still wish him luck and hope to see Smith play really well, but not score as many as some of the Australian fans would hope for. So that's my number 4. 5, I'd lean towards Mitch Marsh, someone who can absolutely bat anywhere in the top 5, and is a handy bowler. We know what he can do, and he's the skipper for the T20 format. So absolutely, I'd definitely look at Marsh for the first test in a couple of days' time. And number 6. Here is where depending on what happens with McSweeney, there's a potential for Josh English to kind of slot in. But if Josh English is actually playing as a keeper, then obviously we also have Alex Carey in the mix as well. If I'm having to pick between the two of them, I'd always lean towards Alex Carey, especially given what he is sort of delivered in the recent past for Australia overseas, especially in conditions like Sri Lanka, where he kind of held, one end, able to score runs, and also at the same time, been able to bat with some of the lower order, your bowlers. So I'll definitely go for a carry at 6. 7, Cummins, obviously the skipper. We know how good he is with bat, and someone who can absolutely put it out on one end, or need be, you can always accelerate, so score some quick runs. So Cummins will take the number 7 spot, followed by Stark again. handy batsman. We know what he can do with the new ball. Someone we definitely, from India standpoint, got to kind of look out for. Potentially his last series against India. You never know. So he definitely will have a point to prove as well. So yeah, I'll be wary of Mitchell Stark at number 8. 9, Hazelwood. I think there's no one better out there for a 5-day cricket than Josh Hazelwood. Josh is really good, up the order with the new ball, and he can absolutely pick some early wickets and dent some of India's chances. So I would any day have Josh Hazelwood in my team. And then Scott Boland might be another potential bowler I would probably pick for the first test, given the conditions, and he might not require a lot of spinners. So depending in again what happens with McSweeney and Head, I'd still keep Scott Boland in the squad, and then Nathan Lyon again, big player, kind of stripes in these conditions, and someone with all the experience and how well he's done for Australia since Shane Warne definitely should be part of my way of playing 11. So that's my sort of pick for in the first test. Most of these players would sort of continue and probably play all of the 5 tests, but it all depends on the playing conditions and how much some of this players can deliver given what's at stake. Again, it's my take on the squads and my prediction, purely my own opinion. I'm more than happy for Peeps to share their thoughts on my pick for the squad. I'll probably follow up with more updates as we progress along the series, and probably have a couple of guests joining me kind of share their thoughts as well going forward. But I'm kind of really looking forward to this series. I think it's going to be massive, and can't wait to stay up some late nights over the next few weeks to months to kind of keep a close eye on the upcoming test series. Really looking forward to it, and I wish good luck to both the teams. But obviously, the heart says India, and hopefully we get close to my prediction and get some really important points as we progress to the final for the WTC coming up in June. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.